I just posted a video today where I was talking about how I used to feel like Mr. Rogers in my neighborhood, saying hi to everybody, and now I don't know anyone. Well, it's like the universe likes to mess with you. Because since I bought my house, it's been like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? So I guess I still know some people. In my immediate neighborhood, I kind of know most of the people, although that has changed too. There are a lot of people gone. The larger area is really what I'm talking about. And I know being in a tourist situation is hard to tell. You would think it would be hard to tell, but I can tell who lives here, who doesn't. Sometimes just by like what they're wearing for shoes, you know. If you got socks and sneakers on, you're just passing through. Fucking almost collided with one of those retards that flies around on the sidewalk. There are people that ride these little things, but they're too pussy to go on the street where they should be. So they end up endangering people on the sidewalk. There's all kinds of little like bikes and little like these like skateboards that aren't skateboards. They're like motorized. They have a little like, I don't know. I think it's the same thing Base Commodore has. One of those little platforms you ride on. Except these people ride them on the sidewalks when there's a lot of people around. It's like, dude, bro, if you hit me with one of those, right? You're not gonna just knock me over and keep going. I'm gonna tear you down onto the fucking ground with me and smash your fucking head on the street. You fucking idiot. You know, it gets me so mad. You're not wheeling away from that. Like, oh, hey, you know, my bad. No, it's not. Well, I mean, usually if you collide with someone, you know, you're both going down anyway, but they don't care. They're fucking dumb. Most people have no fucking brain. We've established that so many times here. Speaking of no brains, I was looking at the fucking what the Mexican government was trying to put forth as a alien. And I know people are like, it's not the Mexican government. Might as well be. It was their expert. It's the same thing. They're just embarrassed now because it looks like a cookie. That looks like something that a child made in like a baking class. And the thing they had it sitting in too, it looked like something that they would sell like a cookie in or something. Like it was like a little container. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, you know, I'm not saying anything about the Mexican people. I'm sure they're fine. But how did it get that far up the chain? Like, people had to look at that thing, right? And be like, yeah, this is it. This is an alien. It's like, what? Guys, come on. I know there's I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. And now they're like embarrassed, right? Because it's clearly stupid. And now they're saying, well, it's not the Mexican government. It's not the Mexican people. It's like, all right. If we all said, wow, you guys got a space alien there, they would have been all over it. Oh, yes, see. I don't know. They're just pulling out all this stuff now because they're trying to get you to, you know, understand that there is a one world government. There's always been a one world government. You know, that's the thing people don't understand. It's like, oh yeah, they just want to get, you know, all the countries to get. The countries are together. They have been together. All this stuff, these wars, these giant sacrifices, it's just for you. It's all a show. No one's mad at each other. None of these countries are mad at each other. All the war shit is sacrifice. It's all for show. They're all together. They always have been together. Look at some of the treaties that every country has signed off on. You know, the most famous one being the Antarctic Treaty, which all the countries came together and said, absolutely no one can come here. You know, I know we're trying to kill each other all the time, but, you know, we all got together at one point and said, we all agreed no one should go here because we agreed to that. No one can go there. It's so silly. It's so silly. The problem is most people don't have time to sit and think about it or to consider the silliness because they're busy, you know, busy trying to survive, you know, trying to stay on the hamster wheel to generate enough gold to I don't know, exist so that they can live. Not a lot of people have time to sit around and dwell on the stuff I dwell on, you know. I make the time. I've never had, well, I will say this. I've never had like a family. I've never had like kids to take care of or anything like that. I've never had those kind of responsibilities. Once you have a family and you get a home, you have some mortgages, and then you get, you know, you have to have certain things. You don't have a lot of time to sit around figuring this stuff out. You're just trying to get you're lucky if you get a little bit of news. And that's it. And you have no reason, right, to think that they're lying to you. Why would you think that? Your parents grew up in this world. Their parents grew up in this world. Your parents, your family, their parents are telling them all the same stuff that's been passed down all these years. They're not lying, right? So why would you think you're being lied to? You know, it takes a while. It's a process, man. It's a process. I did a review of Andy Taylor's Man's a Wolf to Man album yesterday, and he's going through the process. You know what I mean? Like you can tell by the lyrics of that album and the interviews surrounding that you know, the promotion of that album, that it's exactly what he's going through. And I think what happened with him is it was probably due to a couple things, you know, the lockdowns and his cancer diagnosis, which they told him he was dying, right? He was gonna die soon. And then he had some kind of breakthrough technology that he used on his cancer, and it cured him. So now he's like asymptomatic. He's completely like cancer free. That's really weird. I don't know what that's all about. You don't hear that too often. But he's talking about how these cures were around. He just didn't know about them. And every time he mentions they, like in these interviews, like he's like, they don't tell us. They always like glad hand him ahead. Like, oh, okay, well, so you working with your old band again? You know, I don't think he realizes that a lot of the people he's talking to are the influence that he's opposing. Do you know what I mean? That those are the people that they're not on his side. You know, they're not on the side of humanity. You know. But it's a process you got to go through. I mean, I'm still going through it. I still learn stuff every day. Because even though I know that everything is a certain way or bullshit or made up or invented, stuff still surprises me. You know, I'm still surprised all the time because there's things you didn't think about. Like, oh yeah, of course that's the way that is because X, you know. And as time goes on, one of the things he's doing though is he's still on that stage, or at least that's what I assume. I think he's still on the stage. That he thinks he can tell other people about it. Like, you know, like he's going to tell someone. He's not going to tell anybody. People are either going to know or they're not going to know. You can't convince anyone of anything. It's just not how that goes. It's never been that way. Now, it's true that there are people that were coming through it, right? And you can kind of catch them and tell them and help them come out the other side. But you're not going to get like a robot character who just cares about Cheesecake Factory and fucking footwear and get them to understand what's happening. They're not going to. What happened to fucking light? It just fucking turned out soon again? What the hell is that? A trick. A hidden camera somewhere. But yeah, you're not going to get someone to come around from nothing to this. They're just not going. In fact, like I said yesterday too, it puts you in danger. I've been through it. I've been through the whole thing. A lot of us have, where it marks you as a complete lunatic and someone who should be watched or worried about, or maybe seek professional help. They want you to seek professional help because then they get you on pills. And then once they get you on the script, they can get you back on the script for this place. You feel kind of fucking lonely, man. Not lonely in a gay way, like, oh, I'm lonely, but you feel like lonely in a way like, you really can't share your thoughts or ideas with too many people. I mean, thank God we have the internet. You know, the reason I think this is happening at the speed it's happening is the internet's a big part of that, because even though the veil is breaking down, and that's the main cause of all this being able to see stuff, is that their technology is failing. Magic, whatever you want to call it. We also have the greatest communication tool ever in history, which they're always trying to fuck with. They're always trying to take things off there, and you can't get the kind of stuff that you could get even 5 years ago. And I know that because, like, I'll be doing videos here and I'll be like, oh, remember that thing about that guy that saw that thing in Brazil or something? And then I'll look it up and it's just not, it's not there anymore. Or someone involved in a political story that was murder or something like that, gone. Or, you know, how all these doctors who were studying virology were all killed, gone. You know, a lot of stuff is just gone. A lot of stuff around the psyops too. Like when I first started following the psyops, a lot of the evidence that was out there, you know, you just assume everyone's saving this shit, but I used to save a lot of stuff when I had a computer, when I had a big rig. But I got rid of it when I moved to New Hampshire. But you know what? I never had the intention of buying another one. I felt it's, I'm safer, you know, with the kind of stuff I do, to just stay on the phone, but it doesn't matter. If they want you, they're gonna come get you. It doesn't matter. But I just meant as far as being able to have a lot of stuff, which would be, I guess, called evidence. But the thing about that is, like, who are you gonna show? There is no higher authority to appeal to. That's a mistake people make too. Like, you know, you've heard a lot of talk about the trafficking thing. You know, people trafficking, especially with the Lahaina thing going on. Kids disappearing, kids not coming back, they're missing in school, blah blah blah. And you see a lot of people say stuff like, "Well, if you can blah blah blah, and you go to the police with that, never go to the police." I try to tell people that, and like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, the fucking, and then what do you say? What do you say? The police are in on it? I mean, they are, but you can't say that to someone. Then you're the lunatic again. It's tough, man. It's not. There's no answer to that situation at all, because there is no one you can go to. There's no higher authority. There's just God. That's it. God, your prayers, your intent, how you handle yourself, what you do. That's all you got. Because there is no authority you can appeal to. Not just for that, but for a lot of things, you know, for a lot of stuff. You know, there are no good forces here, man. This is Satan's world. Jesus. Speaking of Satan's world, that sounds like some straight up black magic shit coming out of that brother's car. Jesus, you hear that? That's funny. I gotta listen back to that later. Their hip hop's getting bad. They're getting bad. It's pretty much sucked since the mid '90s anyway. But fuck it, if that's where they're at, might as well, because it's all satanic bullshit anyway. You know, we're living in a time where I wouldn't be surprised if they just fucking start cruising around playing straight up satanic chants. I got Gregorian chant though. Fucking demons hate that shit. you ever want to keep your house tight, Gregorian chanting, you can get it on Spotify. Most of the every music streaming service has it, just for, you know, just for backup. You never know. It's good to have. It's a good way to clear a room out of all the bad entities. And then put some salt around your doors, put some salt around your windows. I salt my floors. Look at what the bottle says about salt. Salt and sunshine, man. Get rid of anything. Alright, that's another demon free. Oh, yesterday too I was talking about how I started a video. I know you don't watch it, you can't watch all of them, there's too many. But I started a video over at a spot next to Ross, and I'm like, this spot here is where I always find demonically possessed people and shit, and you know, it's like a depressed kind of area, like the atmosphere or whatever. And I'm leaving Ross tonight, and there's like these, they're like probably homeless people. They were just like laying on in that one little area like they were dead. You know, I'm like, there you go, because it attracts like a low vibrational thing too. So it's like it brings people there because they're low vibrational, you know. Hold one fucking second. There we go. These things go up fast. Yeah, it's like a dark vortex, you know. Low vibration is attracted to low vibration. That's how Chinatown used to be. The whole place down there, when I first started hanging out down there, there was like my friend said it best. He was like, there's like a dark vortex here, and it's spitting stuff out and it's sucking stuff in, and it's the misery of the people, and it's spit back out. And that there was so much activity down there. That's how I got into all this shit, from trying to figure out what the hell was going on down there. Like, why do all these people talk with the same voice? I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand what was happening. They all say the same things. You know, guys would see over the course of a few days. The Denzel Washington movie, like that kind of thing was going on. Yeah. Creepy shit. But once I figured out what it was like, alright. And that whole thing brought me to God. That was 2017, the summer 2017. Actually, my friend that I did a lot of stuff with, he just came by the other day. We started doing a podcast. It's like a punk and metal podcast. It's a boots on the ground type of thing, in the sense that, you know, you see a lot of podcasts now with younger guys who, they talk about stuff, but they only talk about it from a historical perspective because they weren't there. They can only get their information off YouTube or Wikipedia or something. We were actually there, you know. So for us, it's like we can talk about the shows or the, you know, having the experience of being there. It's one thing to say, oh, this came out and it divided people, but to actually have been there and have like your circle of friends you bounce, you know, thoughts off of. So it's kind of cool. I want to do a couple before we post it, but yeah, I got to get him to do some stuff with me too. I've been talking about that for 4 years. As far as video stuff, so you can tell his end of that whole story. But yeah, he's coming tomorrow to do the second episode for that. That's neither here nor there nor anywhere though. Alright, time to go in. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.